Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of TerraVentures. We are back here at the newest area of the TerraVentures series, and if we look here, it's actually right next to the shopping district, so that makes it nice and close. So what we've got here is we're planning to have a theme park or a games district. I suppose it's really a bit of both. So we are going to first off we're first going to start by building a couple of entryway gates. And we did actually do a bit of a prototype design, we being TYS or TICE 205 and Ninja Panda. So these are the guys who do the Arctic stuff. The Outback stuff. So we've worked on a design on the private world, and I'll just hop over into that now to show you what it's like. And here we are. So this was worked on by the three of us together. I think we sort of designed this together. This thing is going to go up quite a bit, but mostly it's just blue ice. It's, what's this? Light grain stained. It's glass, it's got wood, it's got stone brick wall. We've got plenty of that. We've got spruce trapdoors. We've got white stained glass and smooth quartz. And to top it off all, we've got a beacon in the middle, which will go obviously all the way up to sky limit. We're not quite sure what this will be entail in the middle, and I'm going to have a quick look in this because I didn't build this bit, but if I'm right, it is just, oh come on, get down there, it is just a simple beacon at the bottom, so just a small beacon, so that isn't too bad. We might be able to work on getting this a little bit bigger or a little bit different, but we shall see how that goes. So that is a basic design of it, just a little bit different. We are trying to build two different kinds of theme parks, or different sides of the theme park, a modern district and a rustic district, and this is supposed to be the mix between the two, a bit of rustic while having some modern aspects as well. So having done all that, let's showcase this and let's start building that in the realm. Alright, let's have a look at what we need. So we're going to need some ice or packed ice. Let's go with 6 stacks. That should be more than enough. No, I'm going to need a lot of that. So let's go with 8 stacks, 9 stacks. We're going to need some glass or white glass, which we don't have a lot of. We might have to smelt that up. We're going to need some dye. We're going to need spruce stuff. So hopefully we've got a lot of that. That's not spruce, that is. And we should have a fair bit in the shopping district anyway. We're going to need some quartz. Let's see, some of that, leave that behind, some quartz slabs, and bring that across. What else do we need? We need some vines, which you should be able to get from trees, and some leaves, some oak leaves. So that shouldn't be too hard. That's all pretty simple stuff. And I'm already out of inventory room. Hopefully that's everything, I think. Or wait, we do also need 2 beacons, but we should be able to get that reasonably easy as well. So let's dump this off, get a whole stack of emeralds blocks, and that should be enough to finish. That should be enough to get started on the build. Now that we've got all the resources that we need to first determine exactly where we're going to put this thing, and we do want around 15 blocks in between them or so. So I'm thinking this path here is probably about right. We are going to have to demolish this hill or move it back quite a bit. Over here I think we're fine. So if we say this is the center one, exact center, so we have there, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is where the leaves are supposed to go, I think. Let's count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think that should work pretty well. That's at least where we need to start figuring it out. We probably should put it this way a little bit more, but we've got to start. So let's figure out exactly where we're going to put this thing, a little bit further this way, and I'll come back when I've got a little bit of a prototype or a template of where we're going to go. Right, with a little bit more progress made, we can see what this thing is going to start looking like in the realm itself with things around, and I think it's starting to look pretty good together. These beams shooting up into the sky, I haven't yet really programmed them with any particular buff, but I think we can do that later. So I reckon we can continue with this and get started to going all the way to the top. We don't quite have enough spruce wood for that, so I'm going to have to borrow some from my shop, and then we can get on with it. The really important part of this is trying to figure out exactly how high we want this. So that's currently 5. This block is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It really depends on how high I want it. 16, 17, 18, 19. Let's go with 20 and jump down and have a look and see how that looks. And that's too high, I think, in my opinion. That's just a little bit too high. And then the arch would be there. Yeah, that's too high. I think we'll try for 15. We'll try for 15 and see how it goes. So can I cut this down a little bit more? Can I? No. That was a bit rubbish. Alright, let's try a different way. So that is 4, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 20. There we go. That was perfect, I think. So let's have a look. And we need to look from there. Yeah, I think that would be better. So let's build that up, and we should be able to get a good grasp of how this is going to look. Right, now that we've got the towers done, or at least the vertical part of the towers, we should work on the top part, the dome. And, oh man, okay, that was a little bit embarrassing. As I was saying, it's time to start work on the top of the towers. And, oh no. This is really not good. Alright, let's do this again. As I was saying, it was time to start work on the top of the towers, finally. And for that, we're going to need to make a nice flat area here, I think. I think it was like this. Maybe it was like this. So the thing goes there, we just have that. And then this will give us a nice platform in which to continue work. So if I remember correctly, there is some spruce trapdoors which go down here. Then there's the quartz stairs which come out one more block like this, facing that way, and that way, and that way, and so on and so forth. And then there's the quartz slabs on top of that. And then we've got our dome. So let's build it. Let's build this one up, and then get started on the rest of that, which will be a little bit tricky, especially the slabs. No, sorry, especially the stairs, since they have to face outward. And I'm going to have to do that do that really carefully. Now, before we go on much further, I thought it'd be a good idea to remove this village. There aren't any more villagers in it, and if we really wanted to repopulate this thing, they would probably get killed anyway by zombies and whatnot with people in the shopping district and in the gaming district. So what I thought I'd do is get rid of everything and dump it in this shulker box that I conveniently found in the nether. So obviously if it is your shulker box, let me know and I'll return it. But let's just quickly get rid of all this. It shouldn't take too long, and obviously if I did have the ability to time-lapse this properly, like on the Hermitcraft server or something, I'd do it, but unfortunately I don't. And that's mainly due to the fact I need a second account, which is quite hard to get for Bedrock Edition, apparently. You just need to do a little bit of shenanigans, and I'm not that clever with stuff. So if you do know how to do that kind of thing on a single PC, not two, then you let me know and I'll figure it out, and thank you very much for letting me know. And after we finish up the village, there is still a little bit more work to be done. You can see that the land goes up and down quite a bit, which is quite a big of a no-no for me. So I've gone myself a whole stack of my dirt and such, which I've got nearly 2 double chests of it. So that should be quite enough, and hopefully I can get rid of it all here. So the idea here is just to flatten it out, and maybe I might move these 2 just built towers a little bit closer to the shopping district. We'll see how we go. But hopefully this shouldn't take too long. It is quite a large area actually to be done to finish off and to make it look sort of neatish. It's just doesn't look quite good at the moment. So the idea is just finish off the dirt, finish off the terraforming, finish off the making it look good, and then we can get started on, or we can continue work on the rest of making the entrance of the theme park. Actually, now that I think about it, there is one thing I didn't consider, that because this thing here is the same height as over here. So we were at 64 there, we're at 65 here. the theme park is actually going to be at level 64, so perhaps we should actually have removed this instead of bringing it back up. It's a little bit of a tricky situation here. So yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out, but I'm thinking it really should go up, given that over here we've got the 65 of the shopping district here, and that thing over there is 65, so we can actually cover up the rest of this thing here and make it look good. So yeah, I think I will actually stick with the 65 at the level I'm currently on at the moment, 65, and cover this entire area with dirt. Okay, now with this bit all flattened out and someone is starting to work on making the front of this look a bit nicer, we are gonna start work on the rest of this thing. So where did I put my shovels? I think it might be in my ender chest, which is annoying, but we are going to start work on a little bit of a road here. So shovels, thankfully, are in here, and my bow. So if we are to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I'm thinking here is I'm going to get some quartz stairs and some glass, so something like that and like that to put in there, and then we'll have some quartz underneath, or if we can get it quartz slabs, because that will be slightly more efficient. There we go, quartz slabs. Then we'll put in some, get the shovel out, and something like that, I reckon. Then if we were to get some white glass, so the idea here is just to make it very, very white, I think. Or if we do that and that, no, it's missing something. Maybe if we got our quartz or concrete, quartz there, concrete there, and then a block in the middle, or something like that. And maybe we'll have a bit of a grid pattern, so every now and then we'll have a sea lantern in here, and the rest will be like this. So I think that would work quite nicely. So if we drag it out a little bit more this way, we can get an idea of what it's going to look like. Having a look at this, it's getting there. I'm not entirely sure about the blue, but the center bit is about right. So we just need to figure out how we're going to do this. But I don't particularly want just white slabs, but I do need something that's just a little bit different to quartz. Now that I think about it, white concrete might do well. Or no, not packed ice, because that's going to be weird. Yeah, I know I'm making weird noises. What if we were to do this underneath it? I know I probably should use a shovel here. What if we were to put light blue underneath and then put the glass on top of that? Yes, that does look a little bit more modern, I reckon. So let's fill in this side as well, this time using a shovel. And let's have a look at it from the outside. This is getting a little bit, I'm trying to build a modernish path because the other side is going to have a little bit more rustic. And I'm not entirely certain if that's going to look good. Might need a little bit of a redesign, we'll see. I'm still not entirely satisfied with the way this looks, but it's better than nothing, I reckon. It's a good start, but if we can figure out how to do these middle bits a little bit better, that would be good. So now it's time to start work on the other side of this, which is going to be a little bit more rustic, a little bit more wood and stone, something along the lines of this, except more rough. So I'm going to have to go back to my base once again to collect some resources, mostly wood, mostly stone, and then I should be back to get this done. Now for this design, I'm thinking of, yes, it's going to be wood and stone. So I'm thinking maybe a wood, stairs here. Then we'll have a log in the middle, or log here. And that will be the end of the wood. I'm not entirely certain about that because I don't want it to be all stone. Then we need to cut the stone into stairs and put it in our inventory. Come on. There we go, so something like that maybe, and then we want to have a grid pattern here, not just straight down, because the grid pattern allows us to get away with a little bit. It allows us to put in some stone, some other things in. So if we do the square pattern doesn't look quite right, I think. Maybe we do want to have some other thing in here. So, the tricky bit is trying to decide how to get this right. So, chop that bit out. And maybe if we did that, that then allows us to go like this. And then we can have something in the middle. That doesn't look quite right, to be honest. It's not quite there. This thing here isn't quite right. A little bit more designing to go. Well, I think that looks a lot better. I changed out the staircases. So this cobble is now on the outside and the stone brick is on the inside, so that makes it a little bit more structured. And I also got rid of the bark on this thing. I think that made it look a little bit too old, a little bit too weathered. So now at the moment we've got our little drain things here, and then some bits that in a very, very repeatable pattern. So this thing can easily be repeated. This one is a little bit more straight, and it can be repeated. I may change the location of the sea lantern. Let's actually have a look, because it depends on where you want this thing to start. If we want it to start there, for instance, and go with no. Do I have any more of those? No, I don't. Not on me anyway. So let's go there. So how often did this repeat? So it's every third one there. So if we go 1, 2, 3, bam. So let's actually rip this up first and change it up and put the dirt back in. So if we go 1, 2, sea lantern, this is where I wish I was a little bit better at Minecraft than I am. So 1, 2, sea lantern, 1, 2, 3, sea lantern, and I think that would work quite nicely. Right, as you can see, we've now extended the road out a bit more, as well as put in a little bit of a corner path or a T intersection. I'm really thinking I should I should figure out how I'm going to put in junctions so you can cross over from one side to the other. But then again, I suppose you could just hop over like that. Anyway, one of the other things we should probably do is start marking out the area for our first game, which is I'm thinking of putting in a maze. And if we just stick a sign here, let's say Magpies Claim here, like that. So that should work quite nicely. I should also probably point out that Storm is doing a very good job over here, terraforming this bit over here into a nice, slightly less flat area. It's certainly something that I'm not very good at, so it's very good that she can fill in and help. And she also put in these sea lanterns, which is a really good addition to the thing. But anyway, we should probably work out where and how big this thing is. I'm planning on putting a 2-player maze here, so the two sides of the maze will be identical, and first through their side of the maze wins. So that will be a little bit complicated, and it's going to take a little bit more room than I think I've got here, so I might have to do a bit more planning here. And as we wrap up today's episode, we can just marvel at once again what Storm has done. So all this bit from here, from about here, is all Storm's doing, and she's managed to do a very good job of mixing the two textures, which is very, very good. All that, although I'd probably have another quartz here, but that is really up to her. It's a very good job anyway. Not sure what the fences are doing there, but anyway, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So I've already removed my claim because I think one of the other people would like to build their game, so I haven't really decided exactly the size or shape or whatever of my own, so I guess they can build first and we can work around them. This is really going to annoy me, that fact that one road is built a little bit more than the other, but that's just me. I suppose it's just a little bit of OCD. So I hope you've enjoyed this video in which we managed to get the start of the games district going, and I'm wearing with a skeleton hat. And if you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to keep watching out for the next one. Goodbye!